How's it, everyone? And welcome to the first episode of the Coupetta. No fancy background today because we are actually in the Mediclinic in Uppington, and I would like to introduce everyone to our son Eli. I mean, it's been an awesome week, and I'm very thankful that everything actually went 100%. But now back to the Coupetta in the first episode. That's about sponsorships and my experience that I had with sponsorships. So just on the Coupetta series and how it would work. Each topic will have 2 episodes. The first episode would consist of my personal experience and my view of that topic, and then I'll also get an external person in that understands that specific topic very well, and then it's spent a few years in that space to answer some questions and to also get his or her insights. After episode 1, I would like you guys to sort of comment with questions that you might have on the topic or stuff that you are struggling with that you need a bit of help with. And then episode 2 of that topic would consist of myself and either the same or a different professional person in that space that will answer those questions to maybe help you get through a difficult situation, or just some general advice to better that form of your cycling or presenting yourself. So the first topic that I would like to discuss is sponsorships and my personal experience I had with sponsorships and the pressure that sort of went with it. So in 2010 I started taking cycling a bit more seriously, and then you quickly find that the people around you that rides with you in your groups, and obviously as you get stronger you ride with older people and stronger groups, that if you get to a certain level and you start winning or getting podiums at local races, you sort of feel the pressure to start looking for sponsors and starting conversations and just getting people to assist you with your sport, other than either just your mom and dad that's buying you a bike or shoes and stuff. You want to get brands interested in yourself. And with me not having any guidance, and I don't think there's lots of guidance out there on how it works, you just go out and send people a message, or a message on Facebook, or an email address that you got from a friend, or a number that you got from another friend. And what I did, and the mistake I made, is I just sent a one sentence question: do you have a sponsorship program, or would you like to sponsor me? Or not knowing how it actually works, and that you have to build a relationship with that brand before you can actually get to that point. So I mean, I definitely made a lot of mistakes like that, and I think it ended a lot of relationships before it even started, because that's not the way you have to, or you can do it. And I mean, in that time, you or myself thought I was a great cyclist and I was awesome, but it was in my little small community where brands don't really always see the benefit. If you can only affect 10 to 20 people, brands want to work with people that can affect thousands of people with one post or by winning a single race. So by making those mistakes, I quickly realized that by doing it that way isn't going to work. So the 3 things I tried or I did what actually grew my sponsorship family, or the brands that supported me over the years, was number 1, I started actually purchasing the product that I am interested in. So let's say I'm interested in Maxxis tires. I wouldn't just send them a message and say, do you have a sponsorship program? I would actually purchase the product, test the product, and then send the brand positive feedback on maybe an email or forms of social media, or if you see the brand at an event, then you interact with the brand. You say, listen guys, I'm riding your tires, flipping cool, I really like it and it works very well. Then through that, the conversation might start organically, where you can ask them, do you have an ambassador program? How do I apply? Can I send you my cycling CV? Which is also very important, to always have your cycling CV up to date with your results that you've achieved, maybe your goals, just so that if the opportunity comes, you can just send it to them. Then the second thing that sort of worked well for me over the years was just interacting with brands. You don't necessarily actually have to buy the product, just interact with the brands on social media, maybe like or comment on their posts if they post a new product. Share some of their content if you really think it's relevant to you as a person and it suits your following. Share their content, and then through that they might see that you support them as a brand, and then they actually might be interested in supporting you as an athlete. And then the third one, which is probably the most effective but takes the most time and it's the hardest, it's winning. So if you win or do well at races consistently, brands would soon realize that you actually can benefit them in quite a large scale. So by winning, it's not the only thing. You still have to have a good social media following. You still have to be presentable on and off the bike. That's all things that you'll learn over the years and you'll get better at. And that really plays a big role. But yeah, the third point is results. It always helps the conversation a bit. So that is, in short, my experience and how I still use that to today by starting conversations and in terms of sponsorships. And through that, I've really built awesome relationships with guys like Ciavita, Oakley. I've had good relationships with Momsen and other bike brands over the years. So for the next part of this episode, I would like to introduce you to a good friend of mine, Seth Hully. Seth Hully is a legend in the sponsorship game, and he's been in it for 20 years. He looks after guys like Sia Kulisi, Greg Miller. He works for Oakley, and like I said, he's a legend in the game. Seth has got some great advice on sponsorships, and have a look what he had to say.
I'm Seth Hully. I'm the Oakley Sports Marketing Manager for all sports in Sub-Saharan Africa, and I'm the manager for Oakley Surf in Europe, and I have global responsibilities in the surf category as well. The cream of the crop in the relative sports that we target. So the male or female athlete should be the best in the business in their sport. Ideally, that's the type of typical athlete we want to sponsor. Someone that has a big following amongst their fans, that is well liked, that has that leads by example, and is well respected by their peers. Yeah, in a professional manner, on and off the field of play. So an athlete should conduct himself in a professional way at all times. Train hard, work hard, give 150% into everything you do. Have the right attitude, and also off the field of play, he just needs to conduct himself, signing autographs, being that likable person, and that's why he has a massive following. Don't throw tantrums, don't in the public face, just anything negative. There are always going to be likers and haters. People are always going to comment, but rather have the positive comments than all the negative comments, because you're not going to please everybody all the time. Ideally, wearing your product on the top step of the podium and in interviews and in everyday life, that's crucial to create the demand for the product and giving the brand a good return on investment, which at the end of the day drives sales. So sponsorship is also a two-way relation. It's a two-way street. It's a relationship between yourself and your athlete, and you're going to give the athlete all the support that he needs to live out his dream, and that's becoming the best in the world in his sport. And on the flip side, it's about the athlete giving you the exposure and being proud to represent your brand in the sport that he participates in. I've been in this game for 20 years now, and I've seen them come, I've seen them go. And what irks me a lot of the times is where you give athlete product and they don't wear the product. They don't have the product on in the money shots. The money shots are those being on the podium or in interviews. Not ideal that the athlete wears the eyewear on the back of his head or on the back of a cap. The eyewear needs to be on your face. And I know sometimes in interviews that people, the cameraman always tell the athlete to take your eyewear off, and then they put them on the top of the head, and there's nothing they can do about that. But another thing that gets under my skin is if an athlete does not post at all about the brand, whether it's on, doesn't post on social media at all. I don't expect every time you take a photo to be posting about the brand, but every now and then just post about the product. Be proud of the brand, just as the brand is proud to have you on board. Yeah, like I said, it's a relationship. It's a two-way street, and I have a great bunch of athletes that I look after. I get on well with all of them, and yeah, they're different characters, and you got to know also it's a big psychological game out there, and you got to know when to be there for your athlete when he's had a lot of losses and he's going through a bit of a rough time, and then you also will be there with him or her when they're celebrating and they're winning. The big wheel always turns. You're never going to be at the bottom. You're never going to always be stuck at the bottom. You're going to come off the bottom and back to the top again, and then you'll be riding that wave when the things are going good. So yeah, I mean, it's all about a relationship, and it's about getting the best out of your athlete and about your athlete getting the best from the brand. So yeah, it's been nice chatting with you, and hope you have a great day further. Cheers.
So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the episode. Please send me or comment your questions that you might have on this topic. And then for the next episode or the second part of this topic, myself and someone that I'll get in from the outside will definitely take time to answer those questions. And yeah, have a look out for the episode. Thank you.